another crazy ass bald man, spitting sick rhymes while I'm holding my beer can. You don't wanna fight me, so don't incite me. The number one fragrance reviewer, I just might be. Police got me in their sights for cocaine dealing and cricket bat fights. Bitches queuing round the block for my attention, but I don't need that shit, did I mention? My criminal record is 10 feet long. If you get on my tits, then you won't live long. Cause I'm carrying, that means I'm packing heat, inflicting my cologne on everybody I meet. When you're speaking to me, please don't try to be rude, not unless you're like hospital food. Cause I'm a psycho with a character disorder, hard to resist for your sister or your daughter. Other YouTubers, get out of my way, cause you fake motherfuckers got nothing to say. I smashed up a kitten with a tennis racket because the sucker took a crap on my jacket. I like cheese and I love the cheddar, but I love slicing pigeons' heads off better. Hello folks, well, welcome back to another amazing video on the Mr. Smelly channel. We're going to do a different topic today. We're going to talk about the top 5 questions you need to ask yourself before you buy any fragrance. Before you do that, if you want to buy fragrance samples in the USA, Canada or Puerto Rico, please go to myfragrancesamples.com, link in the description. Okay folks, big stuff here. I've been thinking about this a bit. What triggered this for me, actually? I had a really nice holiday recently in Fuerteventura with my thank you to my friend Sean for organising that. Great week away. And holidays cost a bit of money. And then I got back and I thought, I'm really motivated to go again away out of the cold gloom of England, which is horrible and miserable in the wet autumn and winter months, and often well into spring. And I want to do that again. And holidays cost money. And I do kind of have some money put aside. But you know what? I don't want to keep digging into my savings and, spending more than I earn or anything like that. So I thought, let's sell some redundant fragrance bottles from my collection. And it made me think, some of these fragrance bottles, even though I need quite a few to run my channel and stuff, I don't really need all of these. There are things there that I kind of like the smell, but I haven't worn it for a year. And wouldn't I better, maybe it's worth £100 or something. Wouldn't that money be better put towards, a week in the sun that could really restore my health and my sense of well-being? So this is what I was thinking. Ask yourself questions about priorities in life before you go spending money on fragrances, because a lot of us have that slight addiction or compulsive thing to keep buying more and more fragrances. And I'm going to these are the 5 questions you need to ask yourself. Does that make sense? Okay, number 1, do you need it? So you're looking at a fragrance, you want to buy a great fragrance. Do you need that fragrance? Well, this is a really easy question to answer. The answer is always no. Nobody ever needs a fragrance. Sometimes you might need a new car because your old car's worn out and it doesn't work anymore. You might need a new pair of running shoes. You might need to go and buy some groceries to eat, okay? You might need to pay your rent, but you don't need a new fragrance, okay? You really don't, okay? Even if you have no fragrances, okay? Maybe if you have no fragrances, you need one, but as long as you have one decent fragrance, you don't need any more. So that question is easily answered. Next up, do you like the smell? Kind of sounds like a stupid thing, but a lot of people overthink buying fragrances, and I'm going to do some other questions that you don't need to ask, which relate to kind of tie in with this one, okay? So the main thing you have to know, do you yourself like the smell? If you think his Beach Hut Man by Amouage, yes, I think it smells great. So I really like this fragrance. I'm not then thinking, is it okay for me because of this, or is it the right time of year? I'm going to come back to that. So key thing, do you like the smell? Not, do other people like it? Will you get compliments? No. Obvious, but sometimes people forget to think about this. Number 3, very important, this one. Will you wear it? Okay, so I've got fragrances which I do really think are artistic masterpieces, and I really like having them in my collection. Let's say Creed Royal Mayfair, great fragrance, but I've had it years and I've hardly worn it. I can't really tell you why. I do really like it, but okay, it's good for me to have it on my channel and show you, but if I wasn't someone have it with a YouTube channel, it wouldn't really have been a great spend of quite a bit of money to have that. And I've hardly worn it. So if you're not going to wear it often, if you really, if you can't, if it's like, oh, it's a special occasion fragrance, or it's only for when I'm in this mood, maybe you shouldn't buy it. In contrast, Creed Irolfa got through a whole bottle in about less than a year, which is rare for me. So Irolfa, despite being rather expensive, was a good purchase for me. Likewise, Boucheron Pour Homme. I've got a whole empty bottle there. I used that in less than a year, and here's the next purchase of a great cheapie. So I've used that a lot. So that's a great question. Will you wear it often? A 4th question, can you afford it? I know it sounds stupid. A lot of people live beyond their means, and I've seen people on Facebook groups saying, I'm selling a load of fragrances because I need to pay for my vet bill and stuff. Well, you clearly couldn't afford really to buy all those fragrances in the first place. So, if these fragrances are pushing you, you're waiting till payday or something to buy a fragrance, or you haven't got enough, you shouldn't be buying it. You shouldn't be buying a fragrance unless you've really got a bit of spare, expendable, disposable income, okay? So if this fragrance is emptying your bank account and you've got no money left if your car breaks down or something, or you can't go for a night out when someone asks or a date or something. Don't buy the fragrance. I know it sounds obvious, but a lot of people don't apply this rule. Number 5, even if you can afford it, could you put the money to better use? So for me, I was going to buy a new fragrance the other day, and I thought, you know what? That's 50 quid or whatever that I could put towards my holiday fund. That's more of a priority. I've got one thing I'm not short of is fragrances. So could you put that money towards something that will give you actually more happiness, and maybe an area of your life that you should be putting more into, rather than, you've got 200 fragrances or 50 fragrances. You don't need any more. Maybe you should buy a nice new jacket. Maybe you should put the money towards a holiday. Maybe you should just actually put it in your savings account. I'm sorry to be boring, but there are other things you can spend your money on. Is it really the most important thing to spend that 50, 100 pounds on? Okay, let's look at the question. That's my 5. What do you think about that? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like the video, please subscribe. Here's 5 questions, or a load of questions you don't need to ask. Is it appropriate for this time of year? Oh, it's winter and it's a fresh fragrance. Does it work? Don't worry about that. That's bollocks, okay? Someone that I have great affection for asked me the other day, what do people think about fragrances for certain seasons? And I said, well, yeah, some people do, but it is kind of stupid and don't really worry about it. And that's true. Okay, so seasons don't matter. You can wear a heavy fragrance in the summertime. Look at people in the Middle East. They wear oud fragrances and it's hot there all year round, right? And you can obviously smell fresh in winter. Why is that? You can wear a citrus fragrance in winter. Why not? Don't think. People have asked me, is this okay because I'm 35 but I'm more youthful, or I'm 25, can I wear this fragrance? Yes, if you like the smell, just wear it. Likewise, if you're really old and it's a youthful bubblegum fragrance and you like the smell, of course you can wear it. Silly. Don't think about whether this one leans feminine or masculine. That doesn't really matter anymore. I mean, it never really did. You can wear a floral fragrance for women. If it smells good on you and you enjoy it, no one will laugh at you. And if they do, poke them in the eye, like Morrissey said. So don't worry about gender or sex or whatever the word is these days, whether you're a boy or a girl or something else. Wear what you like, okay? I'm going to get some flack for this. I don't even think you should worry too much about performance, if it lasts a long time. If you really love it and it's a bit weak, just buy it anyway, and buy 2 bottles. If you really love it and you really want it and you will wear it, and it's not the strongest. I've never had a fragrance that no one could smell at all if I actually took a little decant and kept respraying. Okay, so if you really love it and it's a bit disappointing in how strong it is, still go with it. That's what I say. Finally, don't ask if it's redundant. People say, I've got this fragrance and it's supposed to be similar. Is it redundant to have this one too? Well, not if you love both and they're a little bit different and you love wearing them. I've got about 5 dark blue blazer jackets that look very similar to each other, but they've each got their little own nuances and they kind of suit me well, and they do wear them a lot, so it's not redundant to have it. And then I went and bought like a beige one or something, or another colour, green or something, because I thought I must have something different, and I never wear it. So in contradiction to what I said earlier, do you need it, blah blah blah. Sometimes it could be that it's very similar to other things you have, but hey, if that's what you're into, go for it. So those are my 5 questions you should ask, and a load that you shouldn't. Let me know what you thought about that in the questions below. We'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to check out Norton & Wilson fragrances, link in the description. That's my amazing brand, and Chypre Fulminare coming into its own this time of year, although seasons don't matter. I'll see you in the next video. Remember, although sometimes life may stink, at least we can always smell good. Bye bye.